Hello Internet, this is BoneCarlos coming to you live from Cloud Kingdom. That's right, I said it, Cloud Kingdom, but no, there aren't any other Final Fantasy players in this game. And as for veKtory, it's the first time playing on this map. Hey, me too, first time casting on this, for Shu as well. So, let's go ahead and get started right away with this cast, as the players have already been introduced. Spawning in the 3 o'clock position is veKtory as the Red Zerg. In, I would say about the 7 o'clock position, we have Shu spawning as the Blue Protoss. Now, as stated before, this is a new map, and I believe this might be a Season 6 map, Season 6 replay, and I'm very interested to look at this Cloud Kingdom type map. I mean, it's really cool. I poked around a little bit before I started off this replay, and I noticed that there is a very narrow choke on this big ramp that does have destructible rocks that can be broken down. And it also has a fairly easy to grab third expansion, but there is 2 avenues of attack, one through here, one through here. So I'm interested to play. I'm actually itching to go back on this ladder and start playing again. Hopefully I'll be able to get promoted right back up to Diamond ASAP. It looks like Shu is gearing up to some sort of forge fast expand. As we can see, a pylon is being placed down, and there's going to be a forge here, a cannon here, and looks like there might be room for a gateway and then a zealot to complete that wall off. So I'm interested to see if he can pull it off. If not, we're going to learn firsthand from Shu's experience. As you can see, veKtory is doing the usual kind of dealio with quick expand before any sort of spawning pool. And if Shu scouts this and actually, reacts in time or accordingly, he can actually put down a Nexus before any sort of cannon goes up. So he can go Nexus first, Forge, Fast Expand, which is always kind of fun. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit when I do this, but you know what? Why not? Both of these players are mid-masters, so we are going to see some high-level play. Hopefully, I can get into Masters, because ever since I was a child, I wanted to be a Pokemon Master. This isn't Pokemon, but I'm going to go ahead and say I am a Pokemon Master, because getting into Masters League would be awesome. And it looks like he is gearing up for a Nexus first, Forge, Fast Expand. As you can see, there he goes. He's probably going to hang around until he gets to 150, plop down a cannon, and then feel safe and secure for a while. He is taking his Xel'Naga Tower to get vision in case there's any kind of sneakiness from veKtory. I mean, he has this right here. There is most of the enemies or units are going to stream through here. I mean, he can go through this little back alley and kind of just meander all over on over. But you know what? Having this Xel'Naga Tower isn't such a bad idea, especially when you already know pretty much what your opponent is going to be doing. He does have his spawning pool finished, but he doesn't have any Zerglings up and running yet. He is transferring some dronies over. I never understood this, especially if you're expanding quickly. Leave a comment down below on why this is actually preferred. I mean, I prefer keeping all my original drones over here and then just rallying over the new drones over here, or just building up normally, since if I do expand quickly, I won't have any kind of full saturation. We do see him getting those 100 gas. More than likely going to get, there you go. So speedlings are going to be on the field of play. He's still not producing any kind of units, but you know what? He does feel safe. He does know that Shu is Forge Fast Expanding, and when a Protoss does this, he usually isn't aggressive until, I would say, about the 10-minute mark, when he has those 6 gateways. And again, we see drone probes transferred over here, and kind of 3 lonely ones right over here. That's right, just 3. So it's kind of interesting. He is kind of hoarding this chrono boost quite effectively. There are 2 Zerglings just going to be poking back and forth, and he's going to start nibbling away on these destructive rocks. This one, he actually, I think he completely completed this wall off with the cybernetic score here, so there's no way for any kind of units to stream past. It's very interesting, especially with the rally point over here on the back side of this. It's probably going to need something along the lines of a warp prism to ferry units over anytime soon. Kind of an interesting placement. And we see another zealot actually being put back. He probably got worried about these 2 Zerglings kind of rushing past and getting into the middle line, but really 2 Zerglings can't do that much damage. We already seeing ground weapons level 1 upgrade being produced, which is actually makes sense on why he's producing these many zealots. Zealots with plus level 1 upgrades take down Zerglings in about 2 swipes. So very interesting. 2 or 3 swipes. It's 1 swipe less, basically. So Very good upgrade for Shu to be getting. He does have double extractor here, so we're going to be mining that gas. When over here in Camp veKtory, you see him gearing up to take double extractor over here, while only having, and he has a fourth one over here, so I might be interested to see what he's going to do. He has a roach warren going down. I would love to actually see a baneling nest going down and a good old-fashioned baneling bust. I know it's happened to me before. It's very aggravating, but it'd be interesting to see. We do see a proxy pylon right over here. Actually quite close to where veKtory is setting up his third expansion, and why not as Zerg. He is scouting with this Overlord. Going to poke around, see what he could find. We see a Stargate going down, and this Overlord is going to see it. That's going to give veKtory a chance to prepare in time. I mean, even if he does pump out a couple of Phoenixes and a single Void Ray, he's going to have he actually already has his 4 crawlers up and running. He has an idea. I don't know what tipped him off as to how Shu was going into Stargate tech, but then again, that's why these guys are Masters League level players, and I'm not. And he's doing the appropriate response. Spore crawler at either side. I mean, I would actually have loved to see him Shu actually just cancel his Stargate right away. And the Zealots are going to go ahead and start nibbling away at this gateway. I don't like this at all. I mean, bringing down one of your own unit producing buildings is just terrible in my opinion. I hate doing this. This is why I try very hard not to do it ever. But you know what? These guys are master level players. Go ahead. You guys do what you want. Destroy your whole freaking base. I could care less. So we see 2 extractors over here not being mined, and those Zerglings are actually going to go down with about 60-70% of the destructible rocks gone. We see 3 warp gate tech, so 3 warp gates done and a single Stargate. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of push Shu is going to be able to do. We see Zerg missile attack 1 almost done. Well, actually about 25% done. It's going to be great for these roaches, especially with these soft stalkers. We see the stalkers pushing forward, just trying to take down these spore crawlers for those Void Rays to come in and do a maximum amount of damage. And he actually ignores his spore crawler. This spore crawler is going to chew into these Void Rays. Now the thing is, Void Rays are powerful, but they are very, very soft. And you see the roaches swarming in, pushing away this kind of attack by Shu. Now, as I was saying, Void Rays are really soft. I mean, they have 150 hull and 100 shields. That's 250 health compared to a Stalker, let's say, which has 80, so 160. So a little less than half. A little more than double health for Void Ray, but they are much more expensive. They're 250 for 150 instead of the usual 125.50. So it is very interesting, and it's just not wise to just blindly throw away these Void Rays. And we saw a couple of we actually see a robo facility going down for Shu. Very interesting. I'm interested to see what he goes down, and a little probe just hanging out right over here. I'm interested to see what he does in this area. It'd be foolish a bit to put down a nexus here to try to mine from here, because it's just cut off from any kind of reinforcements. You actually see one putting down over here in his natural third, which is actually great. I mean, I'm probably going to see a couple of cannons being popped down here just for defense. This is just what I would do. Zerg attack level 1, missile attack level 1 is almost done, and with this many roaches on the field, it's going to be very, very good for him as soon as those pop out and get done. Galileo comes done it, and a force field over here to trap as many roaches done, but there is still a hole, and they scurry on back, and Shu is once again forced to retreat. I would actually like to see him just hang out. This is actually a very interesting tactic, just hanging out, poking back and forth, keeping the Zerg at his own base, which is very fantastic to let you expend a third. And as I've said before, this is a lot of photon cannons. That is not what I've said before. What I've said before is that equal bases with a Zerg is always a bad thing for the Zerg. So you see a robotics bay going down, so the Colossus tech is underway, especially with all these roaches. This is actually very great. In the meantime, he's building those immortals to directly counter those roaches. And right now, ooh, those sneaky little pylons have been captured, have been spotted, and veKtory is just gonna go around, gonna see if he can spot any more, and oh, he barely missed that. Oh no, he saw it. He's gonna go back, take it out, have this thing. The food count is really extremely different. I mean, we see 125 to 87. He got supply blocked for just a second, and we see spine crawlers being put down at this third. This one is still fairly wide open. I'd actually like to see Shu come in, poke here, attack these tropical rocks, make these units come over here, and just keep the Zerg pinned back at his base. We actually see, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 gateways being put down behind in front of these photon cannons. That's very interesting. I think that's a bit overkill. I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 photon cannons, that's about 600 minerals, something that you could be used to put something else in, maybe a couple of extra colossi, put that in an extra robotics facility to be able to churn out those colossus just a little bit more. But then again, these guys are master playing. We see actually two roaches coming in, going to start the attack. They're actually being attacked by the photon cannons, but they are going to go down fairly quickly. There's just too many roaches to be able to do anything. The forces of Shu are in. Again, force fielding off, capturing about 3 or 4 roaches, so that exchange was fairly interesting. There was maybe 3 or 4 roaches lost, but 2 photon cannons, I would say that exchange favored the Zerg in every shape, way, and form. In the units lost tab, we see 14 for Zerg at 1100 resources and only 7 for Protoss at 850 resources lost. And again, we see veKtory just pushing back, and Mutalisks are on the field of play. I do not think Blink is almost done, so that's gonna be very helpful to hold these off. But there aren't that many Stalkers. I mean, there is only a handful in the field of play for Shu. We can see 7 Stalkers for Shu and 18 Mutalisks. This is just going to do a ton of damage when these finally are put into use. We see him gearing, veKtory putting down a 4th, and we actually see only one. It's actually a pylon. So those 18 Mutalisks are going to swarm in and cause massive amounts of damage. I'm going to just go ahead and keep it over in the units lost tab to see exactly how many probes he loses in this exchange. And they're poking around, 1 volley, 2 volleys, 3 volleys, 4 volleys. That's 12, 16, 17, 19. So that is 12 probes lost. The entire mining capabilities of this natural expansion are done. That was huge, and especially he actually spots this. It's canceled immediately. And that just goes to show how a great attack by an unprepared opponent is just huge. If I were Shu right now, I would just start churning out those Stalkers just to deal with those Mutalisks. I mean, he's actually gearing up to take on another starport, maybe put in those Phoenixes. I do believe there was an upgrade for the Phoenixes to be able to increase their range by 1. I'm not sure if it was done in this update or not. I'm actually interested. I'm looking around, seeing if there's anything in the production tab that I don't recognize, but I do not see it. Maybe it might be in the fleet beacon. We see we actually see these Mutalisks gonna go up and gear up and try to attack this one. This one is fairly well defended from the front. I mean, I actually see him just jump around, scoot on back, attack from here, but he's just gonna say, nope, gonna go ahead and show my hand and gonna go ahead and run on back home. There's 1 Phoenix on the field of play for Shu, but right now, 2 Phoenixes actually. 2 Phoenixes aren't going to do much. They could just stop, attack back, and take out both of these fairly quickly. As you can see, 1 volley took them down to about 3/4 of their health. You actually see 4 still researching those attacking. You actually see, ooh, one photon cannon goes down, 2 almost went down, and you see the Void Rays, Sentries, everything that Shu has is going to be tossed at these Mutalisks, but still not much damage was done. We actually see Templar Archives almost done. Those Templar the High Templars are going to be on the field of play. Wow, we actually see a lot of Spine Crawlers by Vector, so those High Templar with Psionic Storm are going to be great to deal with these massive amount of Mutalisks. I mean, they are quick, they are high damaging, but they are very, very squishy at about 120 health. So a couple of storms will be able to push them back very effectively. We see 3 drones over here just kind of going on over here. Extractor, more than likely a hatchery. That's right there. Another attack over by these Mutalisks. Going to go 1 volley taking down 1 photon cannon, 2 volleys taking down a second, and there he goes. The 3rd photon cannon goes down. Not much that Shu can do about that. I mean, right now, what would be advisable would be not to keep throwing probes away trying to take this expansion. Build up this Stalker force, build up those High Templar with that Storm. Take down this right here. Deal with this immediately. Stop turning out those Colossus and deal with this. And it looks like veKtory is just going all in. That Guardian Shield thing comes in just a little bit too late. And we see, a ton of losses. I mean, how many losses was that? We see 39, 36. Resources are a ton. That was just a bad engagement by veKtory. In the units, we see 13 Mutalisks. I think at one point they were above 20, so that was a lot of losses for veKtory compared to what Shu lost. I mean, he has lost a lot of photon cannons here, but as the unit loss tab stated, it's actually in Shu's favor at the moment. And we actually see another gaggle, or would this be murder of Mutalisks? Gaggle of Mutalisks, swarm, coming in to reinforce our. About 6 were being produced, so there's about 19. I just see this. Yeah, man, Shu is just intent on trying to keep up in the base production with veKtory, but that is impossible with your army just pinned back. I mean, if Shu's army was over here, it would be nice. He would be able to expand nice and easily, but as of it is right now, blink forward, attacking these Mutalisks, trying to pick off 1, 2, 3 Mutalisks, hopefully pick off a fourth, but not really happening. This attack, this force of Roach is going to be taken down very quickly, very easily. If he keeps coming in just little by little, these forces are going to get wiped out. We actually see a ton of damage being produced. Wow, look at this. Huge differential is 131 for veKtory, 161 for Shu. 3 base Protoss is very strong, apparently. We see Corruptors on the field of play, so 6 going down, and it looks like this expansion is going to go down without a fight. No problem, no big deal. Just hang out, and like I was saying before, once you push forward, once you take initiative, you are able to expand it very safely. We see just where are all the forces of veKtory? We actually see a ton of BoneCarlos being produced. There's not much else he can be doing. These indestructible rocks are going to go down, and right now there aren't many units on the field to play with 3 Roaches, 8 Corruptors, and 10 Mutalisks. We do see Broodlords going down, so 8 of them. So this could be the deciding factor. If Shu is not careful, he's actually going to be in a very tough situation, especially if he doesn't have that many Stalkers to back up this army. You see just a handful of Mutalisks are being taken down, but I don't think he has any idea that these Broodlords are going to come up. We see a reinforcing pylon going to come in, but if he engages incorrectly with Broodlords in support of these BoneCarlos, this entire force can be decimated. Broodlords are done. They're going to be pushing forward, and right now Shu is just committed to this attack. Mutalisks streaming forward. We see Queen's going into the fray, and Broodlords are just attacking. I would love to see him just blink forward, take down as many of these Broodlords as possible, but there's just too many. They're just throwing down their Broodlings in there, and as we can see, it's forced retreat, and this is what you don't want to do as Protoss. If Broodlords are on the field of play, you have blink stopper, blinking forward and take down these Broodlords ASAP, or else just the attacks are going to be wasted on the Broodlings, and we see full-on retreat by Shu, and once again, veKtory has the forward positioning, and everything is on the full-on retreat. Shu does have his 4th base up and running, but right now it is in a crisis mode, especially to try to deal with these Broodlords. He does have 2 Stargates, which I would love for him to see just keep on producing the Phoenixes. That way their attacks aren't wasted on those Broodlings. We don't see leg charge as of yet, but we actually see a couple of more. Actually, that's just those 4 High Templar that he had in the original at the beginning of the game. These Broodlords are actually out of position right now. All veKtory has are air forces, so, and actually be interested to see what Shu has in store for the rest of the game. He does have, let's see if he's almost completely mined out at his main. He has his 4th up and running, and right now it's 4 bases on 4. How many mining bases there are? They're actually about even. Both of their naturals are pretty much done. So it's I would say about 3 full bases up against 3 full mining bases for both sides. But right now, I would actually favor veKtory. He does have these Broodlords, which are very powerful, and we actually see attack level 3, Zerg Flyer level 3 attack almost being done. So that's just gonna be insane. Once that one gets done, the damage is gonna be about 24 per Broodling, and that's just tough to deal with as any race, really. We actually see veKtory pushing forward, trying to do as much damage as possible. Shu's forces are completely caught out of position. This is going to be a ton of damage going to be done. And this actually see these two, actually blink forward. Shu, if Shu actually blinks forward, takes down these Broodlords. Blink forward and take down these Broodlords. This engagement could be very different. It's actually done at the end of the battle, and right now there is just nothing. This Broodling with a plus level 2 attack is they're just insane. Everything gets mopped up, Corruptors take down those Colossus, Immortals are done, everything is in full retreat. It is just over. veKtory is morphing in a couple of more cocoons just to be sure to take down anything that Shu has It's a lone High Templar, just standing guard, and we're actually seeing a mothership being produced. Very interesting choice as of right now, especially since there aren't any overseers. So if that mothership gets into that field of play, it actually could change the tide. He's actually just being very patient. Where is that mothership? Where is it? There it is. And this is going to be very interesting since there are no overseers in this. Once this mothership gets into the field of play, there is nothing that veKtory is going to be able to do except retreat, to be honest with you. We see a lot of damage being done on this probes, and I'm interested to see what is going to happen. I mean, this mothership is pushing forward, going to do as much damage as possible. It's going to be focus fired by all these Corruptors and Mutalisks. I don't know if there is. It is taken down. That is it. That is over for Shu. He has nothing else in his arsenal to be able to handle with this. With anything else, detection be damned. veKtory says, I'm just going to take down the mothership. GG by Shu. That is it. So that was very interesting play. I was actually bit disappointed by Shu's play. I would say there was a couple things I would do differently, but then again, it's easy to say things from a caster's point of view. These guys are both Masters level players, so I'm sure they would just destroy me within about, well, I would say 10 minutes. You know what, maybe 20. You know what, no, I would beat them. I'm Platinum, they're Masters, and I say I could beat them. So that's it. That's the final word on this replay. But honestly, actually, I had very fun. It was very back and forth, very interesting. New map for both players, so it was pretty much just all macro and micro, nothing too fancy, no sneaky little plays as of yet, since these are just brand new maps. On the ladder, I do believe the Cloud Kingdom was fairly standard in the GSL, so as master level player, I'm sure they have gotten some sort of report beyond just playing it firsthand for the first time. So that's it for me today. I'm gonna get on out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave a link to one of your replays if you want me to cast it for you. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here.